Hey everyone, what's going on? Vega here for Serpent Tech, and in this video I just want to talk about how important it is to know what your hardware's power draw is. Now, there's plenty of great software applications out there. For example, hardware info that you will see on my NAS. It's a good utility to have for the average gamer, overclocker, and miner to make sure that, you know, voltages are good, thermals are good, power draw is good. But software readings aren't always correct, especially with new hardware. For example, we got the new Intel GPUs coming out in the future. Hardware info may not be able to read it correctly until future revisions. That's why day one content, and no offense and much respect to our buddy Dizzy Mining, but most of his day one content is giving us the software power draw through hardware info. And it's super important as a miner, especially if you're going for efficiency, to know what your actual power draw is via hardware. Just to give you an example here, I took a picture of this mining rig and I put it on Twitter, and somebody mentioned, you know, wow, you're drawing a lot of power. You know, is there some inefficient cards? I do have some inefficient cards down there, like the 2080 and a couple others, but in Hive OS, you could see it's basically saying I'm pulling about 4.3 kilowatts or 4,380 watts from the wall. However, if we come down here to this box made by Space Goats and this multimeter, not multimeter, but this wattage meter, we could see it's only 3,400 watts. We're on a 240 volt system. We're about 14.4 amps, about 3,400 watts. So far we amassed about 580 kilowatt hours on here. But you can see the difference between this number and that number. It's almost about 1,000 watts. So something is reading wrong software wise from Hive, and it could be the way I have the Nvidia system. I have two 1,200 watt power supplies. The way that they're synchronizing could be throwing off things. I'm not sure. Either way, it's running stably, it's running fine, it's running reliably, but the power draw numbers from the actual meter is completely different. Everything is connected via the PDU down there. Yeah, just excuse the Nest. I'm not going to do anything with that. You guys are just going to have to deal with that. But it's super important that you're getting your power measurements, your power draw and all that from an actual kilowatt meter, or that meter which you can buy off of Amazon. I'll have it linked down below, and then make your own box. Space Goats actually 3D printed this for me and a number of other YouTubers. You can see it has my name on there. Really cool little box. And then of course, you got to get your own plug that the PDU will go into. Otherwise, if you're just the traditional at home, like I started out with, is just a normal kilowatt meter. But I wouldn't recommend running this kilowatt meter 24/7. If we come over here and I show you this outlet, you can see it was getting a little bit brown. The bottom one, same thing. What happened was the system was pulling well over or close to 1,200 watts. Now, yes, a traditional US outlet, let's say the traditional gauge, what, 14, 12, something like that. I think it's 14 or 12. But let's just say that the traditional outlet on one, one line or one circuit, right, is 1,800 watts. I doubt you're going to be able to pull all 1,800 through one circuit, one outlet. You're going to have to split it up, and you're going to have to put multiple rigs on different outlets like I had to. Realistically, this thing is also rated for, I think, 1,800 watts, but I had 3 of these die out at a little around 1,200 watts. So running it 24/7 is not ideal. What I would recommend doing is plugging this in, connecting your rigs to it, and then after you get everything tuned, your core clocks, your mem clocks, everything tuned the way you want, shut down the rig, unplug this, and then just plug directly into the wall. Also, smart plugs work pretty good. Now, one of these died out on me because the same Nvidia system that is inefficient and very power hungry did kill one of these plugs. It just stopped reporting wirelessly or through Bluetooth to the Samsung SmartThings app. And so I got a new one and it worked just fine. But these will only last for a little bit. Like maybe, for example, this on average maybe lasted about 3 to 6 months. This one lasted me almost a year. So the best thing for you to do is if you have a rig pulling 1,000 watts or less, smart plugs, perfectly fine. If you have a rig pulling, 1,200 watts or more, none of these will do okay. They may hold up temporarily, but they will die. If you're doing 1,200 watts or less, kilowatt meter works just fine, does a great job. Otherwise, think about upgrading to a 240 line, 240 volt dedicated line. Yeah, I had to run it myself, and yeah, I had to have my electrician friends help me out, but it's definitely beneficial knowing the numbers, knowing what this rig is pulling, and especially comparing against software. We can see that software is reading it incorrectly. But anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I just wanted to share that little bit of information. Just make sure you compare, contrast, actual power draw numbers from the wall versus your software. We're going to continue to get great day one coverage from Dizzy Mining. And just remember that hardware info, while it's very good, it may not be 100% accurate. For example, the 6000 series, the 6800 was pulling more power from the wall than what hardware info was reporting, and each card's a little bit different. So you're going to have to compare, contrast, and find out what that is. So that way when you do unplug your kilowatt meter, you already know, hey, I need to add 20 watts, or hey, I need to add 30, 40 watts to what hardware info is saying to give me the actual amount. So compare and contrast. I hope the information in this video helped somebody out there. If you like content like this, please hit the like button, as well as don't forget to get subscribed and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with what's going on with the channel. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.